This is a special report from KELOLAND TV.
I'm Matt Holson with a KELOLAND News special report.
And I'm meteorologist Brian Karstens. We are tracking all the developments this morning with breaking news as the Sioux Falls area impacted by at least one tornado. We're carefully evaluating the data on this. It looks like 2 circulation areas affected the city of Sioux Falls.
Take a look at this map. It shows the area where police and firefighters are seeing the most damage. As you can see, it goes from 26th Street all the way to 85th Street and from Marion Road all the way to Minnesota Avenue. This morning, several streets and intersections remain closed and thousands of people are still without power. And the Red Cross has set up a shelter at the W.H. Lyon Fairgrounds. KELOLAND's Max Hofer has been checking out the damage all morning long. He joins us live at the Rush on West 41st Street. Max, what are you seeing?
Thank you, Matt. Well, right now, currently what I'm seeing is right behind me here. I know it's a little dark, but there is actually a car flipped directly on its side onto another car. And there's also there's a significant damage to each of the cars. There's actually a tree wedged in between the first two. I'll actually zoom in here so you guys can get a close look. Yep, there's the tree. The car slipped on its side. I know the roof is a little dented on that car right there. I know a little dark to see. The entire parking lot here this is on the east side of the Rush. The entire parking lot is covered in debris of chunks of things I can't even recognize. I know I saw a satellite dish and an air conditioning unit there as well, but I am unable to confirm whether it does come from the Rush's roof or not. But also, yep, 41st Street is still covered in plenty of debris. Fire crews were just here inspecting the damage. They just left. I'm unsure where they went. But in the meantime, that is all I know so far. The gas leak, I can still smell gas coming. I'm right actually to the west of... excuse me for 1 minute, I just want to get the information correct here. Advanced Auto Parts. I'm just to the west of Advanced Auto Parts where I can still smell gas coming from, so that is still an area with a lot of caution. But right now, I'm going to toss it back to you guys in the studio. Reporting live by the Rush on 41st Street, Max Hofer, KELOLAND News.
Thank you, Max. Several stores along 41st Street also suffered significant damage. KELOLAND's Sarah McDonald joins us outside Jo-Ann Fabric. Sarah?
Good morning, Matt. That's right. I am outside Jo-Ann Fabric. Right behind me, I'm not sure if you can tell, but there used to be doors right there. They're completely knocked down now. Inside, you can see just insulation and merchandise just all over the place, and looks like there's going to be a lot of cleaning up to do. There's caution tape blocking, so people do not go in there. And actually, the fire department just showed up here as well. They were doing some inspection and walking around. That is all I know right now. We will keep you updated as we find out more information. So I'll toss it back to you guys in the studio. Reporting live in Sioux Falls, Sarah McDonald, KELOLAND News.
Thanks a lot, Sarah. As you can see, just tons of damage just about everywhere. Tell us a little bit about what happened.
Yeah, so when this started last evening, of course, we had a series of tornado warnings, Matt, here to the west of Sioux Falls. And Scott and Grant were busy tracking those circulation points. And I wanted to take you to a map of what we've kind of been looking at here during the overnight is basically 2 separate areas, in my opinion, that really came together to fuel the situation that resulted in all of this damage in Sioux Falls. This circulation here was actually near the Chancellor area. You can see Sioux Falls up here in the corner of your screen. And then the second area was right here on the Turner County, Minnehaha County line. And what appears to have happened, and again, this is going to take a little time to dissect everything, but we appear to have had those 2 points coming into the Sioux Falls area from the west and resulting in 2 separate areas of more intense damage. Of course, we've talked about 41st Street, and we've also mentioned here on previous break-ins here that we've had other areas of damage closer to the 85th or the 69th and Minnesota areas of Sioux Falls. So there's certainly a lot to piece together here, Matt, but it is a very significant situation this morning.
This is very rare for Sioux Falls, isn't it?
It is extremely rare. Well, in my career, I've never seen a tornado actually hit the city of Sioux Falls. Numerous tornado warnings, and of course, this one to hit at 11:30 at night in a rain-wrapped scenario. So the visibility to watch these things was very limited, but we did have some spotter reports as this was coming into Sioux Falls, but very, very dangerous situation out there.
Continuing on with our team coverage, the city of Sioux Falls has set up an emergency command center, but at this point, the majority of the information is coming from social media. KELOLAND's Kelly Volk joins us live with the latest from the city.
Yeah, good morning, Matt. The command center is right here at the Law Enforcement Center in Sioux Falls. I did talk to the Public Works Director earlier this morning about trying to get an interview during one of these live reports, these special reports, but I was told that the city will be waiting until 5 a.m. to address the media. So about an hour from now, we'll be in there. We're expecting updates on the extent of the power outages, the damage in the city, and what residents can do. I do know one piece of advice right now is don't drive throughout the city if you don't have to. There are downed power lines out there and downed trees, as I'm sure you've already seen in this report. So that's something you can do right now. Be sure to stay with us throughout the morning, especially at 5 o'clock a.m. That is when we will be carrying this media briefing. You can watch it online and on KELO TV. Reporting live in Sioux Falls, Kelly Volk, KELOLAND News.
Thanks, Kelly. We have crews all over the city of Sioux Falls checking on damage reports. Take a look at this video. This is from the apartments at 49th Street and Elmwood Avenue, just west of Western Avenue. Now, as you can see, there's significant damage to the apartment complex's garage, and trees are down just about everywhere. KELOLAND's Dan Centella has been out all night long. He joins us live outside a store at 41st and Kiwanis, where the damage is extensive. Dan?
Matt, this is Tuesday morning. You can see behind me devastation, wet, matted down, scaffolding sort of hanging. A lot had fallen. You can see behind me. This is again at 41st in Minnesota. On either side, you just heard from KELOLAND Sarah McDonald. Over there is Joanne Fabrics, devastated. And Pizza Ranch over there, I posted on Twitter a photo earlier of just how bad it is right there. The last couple hours, something that's caught my attention is it's barely raining and there's no more wind. Amazing, given what we've seen all night. So here's what's coming up in the next half hour, an hour. At about 4:30, we're expecting word from the Sioux Falls School District on the status of classes and school today. Also, as you just heard from KELOLAND's Kelly Volk, at 5 o'clock, we're getting that media briefing from the city of Sioux Falls. It's about a half hour and an hour away, respectively. We're out all night. We'll be out here to continue to bring you the story of everything this storm did to Sioux Falls. Reporting live in Sioux Falls, Dan Centella, KELOLAND News.
All right, thank you, Dan. And just to remind folks this morning, I know as we get some of you up and going here this morning, we'll be on our official newscast here at 4:30, but be very careful. And of course, these no travel advisories are out there for good reason, because there are a number of power lines, power poles that are laying in the road. This video even shows a couple of transformer explosions. So it's just a very,
dangerous situation.
Exactly. The danger out there is real, and certainly we want to make sure that you are safe, and of course be avoiding these areas. As that no travel advisory runs up to 26th Street down to 85th, and then you've got Marion Road on the west side. Minnesota is the eastern border of that area, and that again is probably a couple of different circulation points. Again, that's going to have to be sorted out as we go through the day here, Matt.
And we're not going far. We'll be back soon. You've been watching a KELOLAND News special report.